my shit. Anyway, I was just thinking about this. It was just because before I did the video about like the music genre, like music genres, I was listening to A Money for Nothing by Dire Straits because I was like, I remember seeing that video as a kid. And I was like, I thought the video was cool. And then, like, cause this was way before Virtua Fighter came out. And I remember seeing Virtua Fighter and I immediately thought about that Dire Straits video, Money for Nothing. And so I was like, that's and then looking at it now, looking at that shit now is crazy. And then he's saying some stuff that you could not say now. But it's just like seeing the video now, it's just like how far technology has gone. I mean, even this model is more subdivided than that video. Like, it's just so crazy seeing that shit now. And it's like getting involved in the video game industry and then seeing, like, actually doing this and going back, seeing that video. Like I said, I remember that as a kid, thinking that was cool. And then playing Virtua Fighter. But anyway, I made the video. Then I was talking about like I was talking about the rap industry. And I said this a while back, but I never like made a video on it. Now I'm talking about, for the most part, like like rap music of the different eras, and how I feel that rap music now isn't as good as the rap music back in the day. And then you hear like people competing with each other and saying like, different stuff. And I noticed something. It was like the only genre of music that have this back and forth with each other is rap music. Like, you don't hear like different rock groups saying anything negative too much about other people in their field. You see, the only one that I remember hearing was, I think, Good Charlotte was talking about how they didn't like Orgy. And I used to fuck with Orgy. But that was like the one time that I could think of. But it's not like a constant beef though. Like, what genre music is like, which era is better? And then I brought up like I met some fictional rappers like Young Global and The Cylinder, and saying like how they would never be as good as the like new stuff. I mean, they would never be as good as the old stuff. And like I said, you could, like, it's just that would be a constant debate, but it's still like a thing that would just always, oh, come on, bro. It would just be a thing that would just always be like this constant battle all the time. But you never hear it in other genres of music. Hardly. You know what I'm saying? But I would say this though. Like, some of the stuff I was kind of saying just to be saying, but like, kind of for real, like, usually in the summertime, it's always these dudes with these loud sound systems in their cars. I mean, this shit is loud. And the stuff does sound new, what they're playing. But it actually sometimes that you can hear the shit drive by. You be like kind of like, damn, what was that though? Like some of the stuff actually is pretty good. But at the same time, they don't, like, I doubt it's somebody popular that's new, but it's more like underground shit that's new. You know what I'm saying? But like some of the stuff that I be hearing in these dudes' cars, I mean, it does actually sound pretty good though. I give them that. But I just don't know their names. You see what I'm saying? Even when they stop in front of my house and they got their radio playing, I still don't know who they are though. You see what I'm saying? Cause they don't get that. They're not getting that shit like the popular dudes are. You see what I'm saying? But it's new, but it's still, you know what I'm saying? But they still ain't going. I don't know, man. But again, rap is the only industry that just constantly got people beefing with each other. Damn, man, I did not want. But anyway, I just had to say that because I left out a couple of like things and shit, but that shit is kind of like I don't know if anybody ever thought about it like that, but it just like I said, rap is the only genre that got people like beefing. And some of these young dudes, like because I heard one dude say, like, these old heads didn't give us the game. But it's like I said, but at the same time, though, man, I mean, the blueprints was already there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't have to have somebody physically like hold your hand to say anything. I mean, because you could have just heard the old shit and just went with it. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's just like when people were like, if somebody wants to be a great basketball player, they don't need LeBron James or Jordan to say anything to them. You could just go back and look at their old shit and just mimic your game off of them and then kind of change up their style. Like, you see this shit with martial arts. Like, Bruce Lee is that dude. But then you have other people like Jackie Chan, Jet Li. Now, I mean, he's fairly young. I mean, he's more like not. He just kind of came on the scene like in America. But you got Donnie Yen. Like, you don't, if you want to do martial arts, like, you don't need them to really tell you anything. Like, if you find them or you bump into them and they tell you like how to do like Wing Chun or stuff like that, then that's cool. But you could just watch movies and like watch their like training, martial arts training, and you know, take what they did, modify it, like you feel like I could do this better or I could add something to it and do it. I mean, a lot of people do that shit. So you don't need like Jackie Chan to actually hold your hand in nothing. I mean, you can see all his movies, the Rush Hours, the Rumble of the Bronx, and Policeman, and all his movies, and Cradle to the Grave with Jet Li, and all this other stuff, and just go with it, bro. You don't need to do all that shit. I mean, cause it's just like I had my influences, like influence, like the way I draw, like a lot of my like growing up. I've been drawing ever since I was 5 years old. But my mom was drawing like in the house. So what she did was just draw Disney characters. She didn't have Walt Disney come and hold her hand. She just saw what she saw. She learned, she just was drawing characters. I picked that up from her. And then going to school, it was this other dude, he used to draw, and I used to be jealous of him a little bit. But then I moved into anime, and then I had a lot of Japanese influence. Just a lot of anime I was into. That was my influence. I never been, to this day, never been to Japan. You see what I'm saying? Like I've never been outside of America yet. But these were my influences. I just studied this shit, copied it from like how to draw, and then changed it up and had my own thing. And then now I got my own style. But it's not like I'm setting out to have a style of like art. It's just this is my thing. You see what I'm saying? It's not like I want my style to be like exactly like what's his name? Watanabe that made Cowboy Bebop. It's just, you see what I'm saying? It's just my own thing, but he was a part of the influence though. And you had like others. But that's it. And you just come up with your own thing from there. Or like even like this Korean artist that I'm looking at now. He does the I can't pronounce his name though. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it, but I'm gonna say this. He does the Magna Cartas, the War Genesis, and I think he's the same dude that does Blade and Soul. But he wasn't like his shit is just awesome. You see what I'm saying? So you don't, like I said, you don't need somebody to actually pull the shit off for you though, and show you, okay, this is how you do so and so. You just pick up the style and you just do this shit. You know what I mean? I mean, I got a whole bunch of influence like Mortal Kombat, like a lot of like fighting game type shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you know, as a kid growing up, you know, my thing was the Ninja Turtles, like when I saw them in '88. And so my whole thing is about like a fighting game, you know, fighting anime type. You see what I'm saying? Because my influence back in the day was like the fighting game type shits and the Ninja Turtles. That's just how it is. I mean, you don't need anybody to like, and then have this like you upset that they didn't show you anything. What type of shit is that? I mean, you could have just easily like picked any rapper on some real shit, and you could have done it. Oh my God, what the hell? What the fuck? Well, hold up, we gotta run this back. Yeah, so I'm like, bro, you ain't gotta do all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Cause like now I'm just doing like I'm just doing whatever I wanna do. Wait a minute. Oh, cause see that cylinder is gonna be right here. Anyway, yeah, like I said, like, cause it's kind of an homage to this picture. But like I said, like this dude is Korean, and I just always liked his style ever since. Shit, when did I see this? Like, when I think I seen this. Like, the first thing was like in 2007, War Genesis. It was around that time because I was like, oh, what is this? I didn't know what the fuck this was, and I wanted to play it, but it was like, I guess you could only get it in Korea. You know what I'm saying? But I was still like fascinated with the style, and I was like, oh, like the shit just looked cool, and it was just something new. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, get out of here, dude. Just offer some real shit. And it just seemed like too many people are on some renegade shit. Like, see, this is the thing. You need a foundation for something. Everybody needs a foundation for something. Because again, there's nothing new under the sun. And you know, somebody's gonna compare your stuff to something. And you just can't get around that. Because there's nothing new under the sun. But again, you still need a foundation to build off of something. And it has to be a solid foundation at that. And what I mean is, like, you just can't have somebody drawing a stick figure and then say that's your foundation, and then you make some goofy shit and be like, oh, you supposed to like it. But just like you got your shit from like some dude who made a stick figure, like you got your water from a bad well, and then you basically selling people poison. But then you trying to make it seem like, oh, you just mad. My poison is good. My water's good, even though it's poisonous or it's bad. But you just supposed to like it because I did it. And it's like, no, bro. Like going back to the whole martial arts thing. Like a lot of people, took their like in martial arts, took their shit from Bruce Lee. And they just modified it for their own thing, and just to, you know, put their own flair to it. Because I'm not saying that's all it is, but, you know, a lot of people did that. You know what I mean? Like, look at Jackie Chan and compared to Bruce Lee. Like, Jackie Chan was more comedic when he came to America than Bruce Lee was. Bruce Lee was dead serious. But people like both. You see, but if you look at Jackie Chan's like old stuff, I mean, that was a different story. But, you know, when he came up with, especially with Rush Hour, it was more comedic. You know, but he put his own spin to it, his own style, his own flair, but it's still that. You know what I'm saying? They knew pretty much the same martial arts though. You see what I'm saying? So But just off of some shit like I'm gonna just fling my arms and then call that martial arts because Jackie Chan didn't hold my hand, then it's kind of like, what? Then it just seems like a whining child. You know what I mean? Like, you got his movies, any one of their movies. I mean, just go off of that. I mean, it's just like all this stuff that I'm doing now. I mean, just like, it's just different people had different styles of how to do certain stuff, and you just see what they're doing and just learn it. Just learn the game, and with no ego. And that's what another thing people be fucking up at. It's just like people let their ego and pride get in the way. And that's just not how you learn. You know, I'm not coming in here saying like, oh, I'm the greatest dude of all time. You see what I'm saying? That's a lot. See, only time could tell if you're great. Let time say that shit. Don't come out the gate being all braggadocious. I mean, it's cool to have confidence and everything, but confidence only gets you so far. Until you run up on somebody that could just like blow you out the water, then what? Then you just gonna look goofy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like let time tell if you're that great. Don't be saying that shit. Cause then you're gonna slip up and not be great, and then you're just gonna be looking like a dumbass out here. You're just gonna be looking dumb. Cause you was saying all this shit and you ain't as great as you think you are. That's why I never like get involved in shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Cause I even told the story like, you know, people always used to say, I could draw better than you, I could draw better than you and shit. And it was like, I never was like, yeah, I could draw better than everybody, but they just came to me on some challenge shit, like I could draw better than you. And I'd be like, okay, prove it then. Just prove it. And then they sucked ass. And I just walked off into the sunset like, you know, whatever. Like, it was this one dude I remember back in 2001. I don't know how we got on this conversation, but we was over a friend's house. And he was saying that he was a black belt, and he was saying he could beat me. And just all this other stuff. I'm like, I don't know where this came from, but he was just on some wild shit. So I was like I said, I don't know how this came about. So I was like, wait, let me find this. Oh, I always forget which one this is. Okay. So I'm like, okay, fine. I'll take him up on his challenge because I didn't want to get punked out in front of everybody. Like, just to be like, nah, I'm not going to do it. And then he was kind of like, not aggressive, but he was like for real, trying to like challenge me on some real shit. For some reason, I can't remember why. And it was June 2001, because I remember me and Sean was trying to get Sonic Adventure 2. But anyway, And so he was on some shit. He was like, yeah, this, that, and the other. He was a black belt and I could do all this. And so, you know, he challenged me. So I ended up, I took his challenge and he was doing everything he could, everything. And I'm sitting up here, I don't think I hit him because my whole purpose was I was just blocking and dodging everything. And you know, people was kind of looking at him like, ooh, like, oh man, like, word, like, you a black belt. And he said he was like a for real dude, because the way his style was, he was a real dude. Like, he really took the classes and he was really getting it in. But I was blocking and dodging everything. I think I might have hit him once, like in his side. But it was just like, come on, bro. You see what I'm saying? But he had his style, and I'm pretty sure he liked Bruce Lee and Jet Li and Jackie Chan and all them, because they was like big, and then it was like I said, it was in 2001, so you know everybody was liking the Matrix, and people was doing the Matrix shit. Come on, bro. It's just how it is, you know. I mean, but the whole thing was you don't need nobody to you don't need people to hold your hand. I mean, he took like I said, he took the shit. You know, he had his teacher, and I'm pretty sure after that he developed his own stuff. I don't know what he's doing now, but anyway, but like I said, my whole thing is about fighting. You know, cause like this is a fighting game. Like it has its fighting elements to it, I should say. I could turn it into a fighting game, but it's like a RP. It's an action RPG. No matter how long it takes me to do this, it will forever be an action RPG unless the terminology changes. And you know what I'm saying? But you watch and study certain people, and you get little different things about them, and you apply it to your life. You apply it to certain shit. But anyway, I'm about to get ready because I gotta go to the store right now. I gotta go to the store, so I'm out of here. Because I was gonna continue to. I was gonna sit the cylinder. I gotta scale the cylinder, but I'm gonna sit the cylinder on top of her head, but I'm gonna do the braid. Where's the actual braid at though? Okay, here it is right here. And you know, people whoever watch my video see the braid. I mean, they know how it's gonna go. I gotta separate them. That's pretty much it. And whoever knows about this Korean artist that I'm talking about, that does Blade and Soul and Magna Carta, I think it's the same dude. They know what picture this chick is. She got on a black, like, Asian outfit. She got the cylinders. They're like black. You know what I'm saying? Like, people know. Like I said, that's the dude. I'ma just say this before I leave. That's what perplexed me about this Asian attacks going on now. That's some real shit. It perplexed me about this because I'm thinking like me, like a lot, like I would say, like damn near 90% of my influences come from Asian people, like Korean, Japanese, Chinese. I was talking about martial arts just a few minutes ago. I'm saying like I said, 90% of my influences come from Asia. And it's just like, and then like even with young people, like you see young people now Like these weirdos be attacking these young Asian people and shit. You'd be like, a lot of young people grew up watching anime, and then you got BTS, and you see what I'm saying? Like, it's just a weird thing seeing all this like anti-Asian attacks going on. It's just some weird shit, and they like it just goes without saying, like, just stop doing, like, why the fuck are you picking on y'all crazy? You see what I'm saying? Now, if somebody turn around and it man your ass, then you be crying. But it's just a weird thing. It's just weird. Because I'm just thinking about, like, putting myself in that situation. Like, I will only fight back if somebody was fucking with me. Just fucking with me, period. That's when I will even try to, like, step back, like, yo, bro, you crazy, trying to diffuse the situation. But if you keep trying to come at me, then I will have to, you know, because you tried to attack me first. But just going around, just pushing, it's just not even, just forget that Asians, just old people, period. That shit is fucked up. Like those Klan members that pushed that old man, he was trying to give them their own helmet back. And they just pushed this 75-year-old dude, he bust his head open. The fuck is wrong with what the fuck is this? It's just, I don't know, man. Like I said, looking for me, I fucks with the Asians heavy. Like I said, the anime, art, the music that I was talking about in the other video. Looking at martial arts and everything, like, it's just weird. And it's just like I said, like, if I was like finally making my game, or some dude came up to me, like, because you see a lot of black people starting to, like, move to Asian. I was thinking, like, if I was going to move to an Asian country, it'd be like Japan or Korea, just because of the video game aspect. Because you got Japan, you know, and the anime and the video games, and then you got, like, Korea, they're doing the MMO shit. So it'll be like who's that, Pearl Abyss that does Black Desert, and Blade and Soul is Korean. I don't know about Lost Ark and Ion, but it's an MMO, so it's like, most likely they're probably Korean. So I'm like, I'm seeing it, but it's just still bizarre though. It's like, why the fuck you fucking with them? Like I said, if they turned around and did some Ip Man shit to you, then you be crying. And I'll actually be there laughing. I'll be like, damn. They pulled a Donnie Yen on your ass, and I would seriously be laughing at that. I'll be like, yo, you see he did that flying kick to this dude, cracked his jaw. I'll be like, on some real shit, man. Why you fucking with people? Like I said, I let people live. Unless you fucking with me. I just stay in my corner, and I just let people live. But that is just so weird. It is bizarre. It's just a bizarre thing. But you know what I'm saying? If somebody came out the blue and hit them in the face, fucking with these elderly people, it's just like, you get what you get. The fuck you, like I said, just forget the person's ethnicity. Why are you fucking with old people? Or just fucking with people anyway that ain't doing shit to you. I mean, even with the whole coronavirus thing, like, what dumbass Orange 45 said, what he was saying. We got more cases than China, more deaths than China, and a lot of our strains came from Europe. So what the fuck are you just like I said? And then we getting the vaccine, so we getting over the shit. it's just weird. It's just weird. I mean, I'm just saying this because I was talking about martial arts and styles and all that. And just, it's just like I said, in the picture that I was getting this hair design from came from a Korean artist. And what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Again, more than crazy. But anyway, I rambled long enough. All I gotta say is money over stank holes.